If you want a carbon reduction plan for your company, tune in. Here's my 7-point guide on carbon reduction plans made easy. This is suitable for all companies, large or small, and at the end of the process, once you've done it, you'll end up with something that's compliant with PPN 0621, which is a UK standard that you will require if you ever sort of sell anything into government. It takes about half a day of time, so that's if you've got the data. If you haven't got the data, it will take you longer because you'll need to gather the data beforehand, and I'll go through the data you need in a minute, okay? At the end of the video, there's a quick tip. So if you want a quick tip on sort of a quick shortcut, stay tuned to the end of the video and you'll see it there. The first thing you need to do is define a base year, and you need all the data for your base year entered onto the platform. Your base year is what you refer back to. So you say, we saved 10% of our carbon compared to our base year. Base years can typically be one of two things. 2019, that's very, very common, or the current year. Benefit of using the current year is you don't have to enter two sets of data. So that cuts the work down considerably if you want to do that. Okay. The information you're going to need is everything about your energy, your electricity, your gas, fuel oil, LPG, etc. All of that needs to go onto the platform. Then you need to put in your business travel. That's really trains, planes, taxis, tube, etc., etc. Anything to do with business related travel. That also includes information about the diesel you buy, if you've got company cars, or the petrol. You then need two sorts of delivery information. Deliveries coming into you, okay, from your suppliers, and the deliveries you make out to your customers. Typically, the weight and the distance traveled per delivery. Once you've got that, you then need your waste information, which is typically what it is, where it's going, so recycle or disposal. And finally, you need commuting information. The commuting information is done using a survey that we have within the platform. Very, very easy to use and gathers all the data you need for that. You then need to do the same again for your current year if your current year wasn't your base year. If your base year is your current year, then obviously you've got the information in there already. But if you haven't set that up correctly, or not correctly, but you haven't set your base year to be your current year, you then need all of that information I've just mentioned again for your current year. Okay? Third thing you need, third step, the projects that you're doing to reduce your carbon down. Okay? What are you doing? How much carbon are they likely to save? There's a projects area in platform. You're probably easiest just to select one of the 40 or 50 projects we've already defined in there, but if you want to add your own, you can do. Once you've got that, point 4, target reduction. So you have to set a target about what you're aiming to do, okay? Most people set either 2030, very, very common, probably about 90% of my clients choose 2030, well, 95, 2030. People can choose 2050 as a longer term goal, either instead or as well. Okay, so you've set your target, you know your current footprint, etc., etc. You know what projects you're going to do. Point 5, you need to report what's your progress against the reduction target that you set. And that's very, very simple. It's just an actual use versus your target use. You know, what did you think you're going to be using versus what you actually used. Step 6, nice and easy, very easy, sign it off, typically by a senior board member who takes responsibility for the contents of the plan. You then publish it online, and if you're selling into the government, you need to do that last step. It does need to be a public document. Okay. The last one, step 7, running out of hands, is rinse and repeat. The whole thing you've just done is a great start. It will give you a good carbon reduction plan. Your job then is to do it again, so that every year you put in, you know, how you're doing against your plan and you update the plan. Okay. Don't need to do it from start. Again, just update it where it needs updating. Okay, that's it. It's quite simple. I promised you a quick tip, and here's my quick tip. If, as well as the information I've said, you include something to say it's so much carbon per, for example, per employee, per square foot, per pound of turnover, they're 3 very, very common things. If you're manufacturing, it might be per, then whatever widget you're making, per car you're making, or per whatever it's going to be. If you do that, then you've got an instant SECR report. So you've done your compliance plan, you've done your carbon reduction plan rather, and suddenly free out the bottom of it, you get your SECR report, okay? Quick tip, 2 for the price of 1. There we go. If you want any more help with anything to do with carbon reduction, carbon compliance, etc., do get in contact. Go to enistic.com and we'll do our best to help. Thank you, goodbye.